We were approached actually kind of by AMSA's board. They really wanted students to be a part of this new project. We didn't have a slogan. They were just looking for a way we can communicate meat science in a very palatable form, mainly on social media and things of that nature. So, our first topic is kind of meat in the diet and things. So, we needed a template. We needed a way for not just students but anyone in meat science to be able to communicate meat science in a way that's not intimidating, and that's for everyone. So
Hello, meat folks. Welcome back to the MeatsPad podcast. It's your happy, hungry host, Phil Bass. You know, I get a lot of professional folks on here that we interview, and I truly appreciate all of the folks that we do interview. But every once in a while, I get a chance to bring those in from our student population who are part of the American Meat Science Association. And in fact, today we have Katie Graves, who is part of the student board of directors for the American Meat Science Association. Katie, what's your position on the board?
hi, yeah, happy to be here today and be able to be on this podcast. My position for this term, the 24 and 25 year, is an at-large director.
Okay. All right. What does that mean? Let's share that with everybody because honestly, I've always questioned it just a little bit. It just means you're everywhere, right?
Right. So,
Yeah.
how kind of the election process works is we get kind of our president, and then we get our regional directors, and then we get at-large directors. So,
Okay.
it kind of trickles down in a hierarchy, I guess, from there. So, I'm kind of starting here and looking for future positions, moving up to regional and president, just kind of getting my feet wet here. So,
Excellent. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you don't have a district to represent per se. You're representing everyone, and you still have great input onto the board, right?
Yes, sir. So there's two
Excellent.
at-large directors for the term. We're both in Texas. The other one's Anna Wiley at Texas Tech.
Okay.
And our southern director is Ryan Heichman. So we collaborate a lot with each other. They're kind of up north, and I'm kind of down here in College Station representing AMSA.
That's great. Well, I appreciate that. And in fact, it was at our more recent American Meat Science Association board meeting, of which I'm a part of the professional board, that something came up, and Clint, our current student president, and then Megan, our past student president, were both in attendance and talking a little bit about some of the things that are going on. And I was really intrigued by a project that they said you're leading right now called Meet the Truth. And so, Katie, tell us what this is. Tell us a little. Tell us how we can get involved, or when it may be available for folks.
Right. So we were approached actually kind of by AMSA's board. They really wanted students to be a part of this new project. We didn't have a slogan. They were just looking for a way we could communicate meat science in a very palatable form, um, mainly on social media and things of that nature. So, our first topic is kind of meat in the diet and things. So we needed a template. We needed a way for not just students but anyone in meat science to be able to communicate meat science in a way that's not intimidating, and that's for
Mhm.
everyone. So um, I kind of came up with this slogan. Kind of AMSA has another one, Meet the Future, and I was like,
Mhm.
well, I think we can meet the truth, right? So
Yeah.
I I came up with that slogan, and then I kind of have like a tagline of debunking myths and communicating meat science. So it's no secret that today our attention spans seem to be getting a little bit shorter and shorter, especially with social media and that nature. So I think the best way for us as meat scientists to communicate what we are learning and the truths about what people are putting in their bodies and animal protein is to take advantage of that. So
Mhm.
coming up with this little form or ways to communicate simple topics in meat science that people are getting wrong most of the
Mhm.
time
Mhm.
is kind of where the direction we need to move. and the way AMSA is wanting to communicate these things. So we came up with Meet the Truth. So yeah.
That's so cool. And you said it's a kind of more of a social media focused platform that you're going to be using. Which platform specifically are you targeting?
So right now, I've been designing some different templates. We're really gonna try and hit hard on the Instagram.
Hmm.
We don't have any like video right now. We're just kind of doing a templates for posting like Instagram,
Hmm.
Facebook, and things of that nature.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed with how much I think they call it micro learning that's going on now in the social media world, which is I appreciate that. We're going through these incredible cycles of when Facebook was kind of first new to the scene, and it was being used as what I believe it should have been used. Pictures of kids and dogs doing funny things. Okay. But then it kind of turned into almost this rough house area where people threw their opinions out that maybe didn't need to necessarily be out there. And now we're kind of seeing this a little bit of more of a resurgence in all of the social media categories where it's not just the social platform as in like a gathering of a party, but more so of an opportunity to share knowledge and have these little snippets of information that pop up in your feed that are going to give you something to think about. Is that kind of the focus that you guys are targeting?
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So if maybe you're familiar on Facebook, there will be pictures that circulate, right? They're
Mhm.
viral, right? There was one on ground beef
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago saying that this bright cherry red ground beef in overwrap packaging and this other grass-fed and vacuum packaging that was a different color, they were claiming that the bright cherry red was due to synthetic additives and things of
Yeah.
that sort, while the vacuum package was all natural grass fed, and that there was something wrong with the red. When we all know that is only the state of myoglobin, right, and
Yeah.
oxidation of that. So, AMSA needs a way to catch the attention like that picture,
Yeah.
to communicate the truth of what's actually happening in meat science. So, really, the goal of this is to provide a platform where we can catch attention just as fast
Mhm.
and give palatable bits of meat science information and just a way to address things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you doing this because oftentimes, us on the board, we're starting to get into the dinosaur ages, and we need someone with a fresh perspective, and folks like yourself who are trying to be innovative and look at ways of grabbing the attention of your generation. Um, it's harder for me now. I would say I'm probably a little bit more on the leading edge of my generation, considering I get a chance to work with students on a daily basis. But even then, every day I learn something new about communicating with a younger generation, and the best way to go about it is just ask people of that population to help contribute, and you're doing it right now, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you, Katie.
Yeah, of course. I was really excited when it was presented in our board meeting a couple months ago. I just wanted to hop on that. I think it's a great way for students. Like I said, it's not only for just debunking myths, it's for
Mhm.
students to communicate what we're learning in meat science, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes um, I really think that's valuable in getting kind of my generation excited about meat science and hopefully recirculating more of like meat, animal protein in the
Yeah.
diet. So,
Yeah.
and that's our first topic.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. And honestly, if there's any way I can help in any way, please feel free to reach out. Um, but for the short term, what is the timeline right now that this is going to go live?
So it's the very genesis of the
Okay.
project right now. We were approached with it about a month ago, and I've been creating templates, which is a learning curve for me for sure. But now I'm
Mhm.
partnering with the actual AMSA, and they're helping me out in their marketing team.
Mhm.
We've got several templates in place, and now we've assigned topics
Mhm.
to student board members.
Good.
And so all of us are have a topic that we're going to research and have a cited paper in. We're hoping by the beginning of the spring semester. I think in semesters, I'm a
Sure,
student.
yeah, that's fine.
Beginning of the next year, I
Yeah,
guess. Hopefully getting one out. And that is a total, AMSA marketing thing, but as a student board, we are ready and already starting our research
mhm,
on what we want to address
good.
within the realm of meat in the diet. So
Yeah.
hopefully next spring-ish.
Yeah. Oh, that's very exciting. So early 2025. For those who do have social media accounts, stay tuned, and hopefully we'll have some information out there. I know that the American Meat Science Association does post things through a variety of different social media platforms, and so if you're interested in more of that information, please reach out and keep looking. This is it's not a fad, it's something that's here to stay. The social media direction, it's relatively inexpensive to participate in, and it reaches a large vast population, and so why not get this information out there? So I think that's really exciting. um, uh, and on top of this, you've mentioned your timeline. Um, the student board is only a single year term, right? And so yeah, it's kind of a quick turnaround thing. And so for you guys to be contributing to the Meet the Truth program, it's definitely something we got to get done quick, right?
Right,
So
right,
so
absolutely.
so you guys are working on it. That's very exciting. Any other thoughts on the Meet the Truth before I move on to a different topic?
Um, just really, we're really excited to get it started. It's something um that I think is needed, and I'm really excited to be the part of the genesis of that. And
Yeah,
hopefully, it's something we can continue in future student boards.
yeah.
Beyond my time as a student, I shouldn't be a student forever. So hopefully, that's an impact I can make now as a student, and then also professionals out there. If you've got a topic that you think is really relevant and that we need to communicate to the public, please reach out. We would
Definitely.
love to make one of those posts and get that information out there.
Yeah. Well, and if anybody has any questions or thoughts that you would love to have put on there, I can reach out to Katie directly. Email us at info@meatspad.com, and I'll pass that information right along. And same thing with our podcast. If you have any questions, burning ideas about meat science that you need answered, we're here for that. And so this is just going to be additive in general across the board. So, Katie, I like to ask everybody who's on our Meats Pad for the very first time, anyway, because we have some repeat visitors, but for the very first time, tell us, how did you get involved in meat science?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm originally from Lubbock, Texas. I went to A&M for my undergrad, so I did not go to Raiderland. I was born and raised there, but decided to go see a new place. Went to College Station, Texas. I actually started college as a biology major in the Department of Science. So
Okay.
I don't have an agriculture background. I had some of my grandparents involved in farming and those kinds of things, but no animal production. So I started school thinking I wanted to be a physical therapist, working in sports medicine. I learned a lot about muscle biology,
Sure.
um,
Yeah, definitely.
transferred into animal science, because I had the same prereqs I needed and I had some friends there, so I transferred over. Um, then I had a couple friends encourage me to try the meat judging team, and I was like, "What is that? I don't even what do I get to eat it? Like that sounds fun. It's free food, right?" Um, Decided to try the meat judging team, fell in love with meat science, applied all of my organic chemistries, biochemistries,
Yeah.
everything I'd taken in general biology over and apply it to meat science. And right now I am working on an NCBA flavor project with Dr. Miller. And so it's this wonderful blend of learning about meat science, how it influences our bodies in the diet, as well as how it tastes, because I like good tasting beef. So,
Yeah.
um, through that, I just ran from there, worked on sensory panels. I've interned at Tyson Foods, shadowed at JBS. Next summer, interning at Standard Meat Company, serving on the board, coaching the meat animal evaluation team and things like that. So, um, that's my meat science story.
Well, that's a pretty cool story, and especially considering, yeah, you grew up in an area where that has a very strong meat science program at Texas Tech, but of course, Texas A&M is definitely well known for that as well, and so you couldn't go wrong with either one. You're working with literally a legend in our meat science community. For those who don't know, Dr. Rhonda Miller, she was our most recent recipient of the R.C. Pollock Award, which is the highest award that is given out by the American Meat Science Association, and so lifetime achievement kind of stuff. And Katie, you're definitely on a good path. It's very impressive to hear all the things you've been doing, the courses that you've taken. As I mentioned when I interviewed Megan a few what was it, probably about a year ago, um, I think that the future of meat science is in very good hands as long as you guys are still around. And so, thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for being a part of the MeatsPad podcast. And I'm excited to see how Meet the Truth comes out and see what kind of response we get. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very lucky to work with Dr. Miller as her last grad student and with Dr. Kurth and all the people here at A&M who introduced me to meat judging, like Jennifer Wiley, Dr. Griffin, Dr. Sable, Dr. Gehring. They've all had a piece in this, and I'm excited to
yeah,
transfer what they've taught me and what people bring me and meet the truth.
yeah. Well, you're doing great things, and thank you for sharing that knowledge through the Meet the Truth platform. And so, everyone out there, stay tuned, and we'll see how this turns out. Thanks, Katie.